Hello everyone, welcome back to Japan for Tackle. Today we have a special one for you guys. We have the Tiemco release and ICAST release, the little sneak preview of stuff that we're going to have at the ICAST show. But Tiemco is a brand that we recently started carrying, and we wanted to grab a couple items that seemed extremely popular in Japan that will play a role here in the United States. Let's start off with the localism stuff. Here we have two localism items, starting off with the Lincoln Shad, the 3-inch. This has been a killer chatterbait trailer, a little micro chatterbait trailer that we've been using specifically for the little Micromax chatterbaits that Z-Man recently released, I believe last year. The Lincoln Shad, at least the versions that we got, are the non-salted versions, and this is the 3-inch. I know they make different sizes, but this is the one that we saw that looked the best. It has a nice little joint in the back. It's very durable. It's specifically made for a little trailer, so it's a durable plastic, especially since we got the non-salt version, which to us lasts a little bit better. So that is the Lincoln Shad 3-inch. The next locoism item is the Creepy Egg Rubber 34. The Creepy Egg is designed to be a little wacky rig, but you can also break them in half, and then you get yourself 2 baits out of one. You can run a little EWG through the side and swim it around the shallows. It has those silicone strands in there for a little bit extra action. The next up is the Critter Tackle series, and we got a couple of items in that Critter Tackle series, starting off with the Hata Crawler. Which is 150 millimeters, and it weighs about 3.6 grams. I like that Tiemco puts the weight of the actual plastic in there. When you're throwing BFS baits, it's really crucial to know the grams of each bait and the weights and the hook, because you want to make sure you're in that threshold of your rod and what your rod can handle and what is going to be the best performance for your rod. And for the Hata Crawler, we've been using the little new coil from Decoy. This thing is amazing. We've had a lot of requests for the Koike style, uni style, and elastomer baits. It's really hard to get weights inside. This coil system fixes all that. Has a really thin coil that grabs amazing on the elastomer, and it comes in sizes all the way down from 1 gram up to 5 grams. So it has various sizes for you to use. The hook we've been using for it is the NK hook from Decoy. This makes it a weedless presentation, and the hook size recommended by us is the size 1 NK hook. The size 3 might be a little too small, depending on your equipment and how thin of a worm you have, but that's the NK hook from Decoy. And the Hata Crawler, like I mentioned earlier, is an elastomer style bait. It's a high float, so you really want to get like a 1.3 gram, 1.4 gram on the head of it to get it to stay down. But once you have it there, it's going to have a beautiful presentation for shallow water and for deep brush piles and stuff like that to keep it weedless. That's the Hata Crawler from Tiemco. And next on the Critter Tackle item list is the Kozemi Mushi, which translates to small cicada. The bait is a 4-gram bait. Again, elastomer. It's a bug style bait for top water that we've been enjoying. We've tried rigging it a couple ways. We tried an EWG hook, and it has a beautiful little walk. Size recommended for us is like a size 1 1/0 if you want to get a little bit bigger hook. Since the elastomer is a little tough, we also recommend a wacky hook. This is the Shot Rig Worm 10, and that there is a size 2, and that seems to fit it beautifully. We have a little versatile keeper on there just to have the bait not fly off. And again, we're rigging it on the thin side and letting the fat side on the back, you give it a little bit of a walk in the top of the water, and it's gonna look like a little cicada, a little bug bait just creeping on the top. It's been getting bit. It's amazing bait. Again, elastomer. So this is gonna last you forever. And it comes in a bunch of cool colors and regular colors like scuppernongs and green pumpkins and craws. This one is the chartreuse one, which has been a killer for us. That is the Kozamishu from the Critter Tackle series. Next up on the list, we're gonna show the little Tiemco Roberta PF. That is the little power finesse jig from Tiemco. Comes with the weight down by the bottom of the head, which helps keep this in a horizontal posture, especially when you pause it. This is paired up with the little 2.75 X Zone Swammer, which we found is one of the better options for this bait. Only comes in around 2 grams. So you're gonna really need something in the bag that kicks, but this is a beautiful shallow water jig. We first stocked it with only a couple colors. It was a huge success, so we ended up grabbing as many colors that were available. That is the Roberta PF. Again, that's just a little swim jig style bait. Comes with a beautiful strong weed guard for attacking the shallow weeds and grass lines and brush piles. This has been an amazing bait, really, really versatile, and has been a killer replacement for some of those smaller jigs that we are finding extremely hard to find. That is the Roberta PF by Tiemco. Next, we got the Wild Mouse Ultra, which is another elastomer style bait. The ultra size, well, the Wild Mouse comes in a bunch of different sizes. We decided to bring in the ultra size, which is one of the most popular sizes in Japan. And here in the US, we've had a lot of customers request the ultra size, which is 100 millimeters, 6 grams, and again, floating because it's elastomer. Hook recommendation is a 2-aught. Line recommendation is between 5 and 10 pound fluoro or PE 1 through 3. Here we have it rigged up on a Decoy KG size 2 hook. Fits beautifully in there. It has that hook slot in the back, that air chamber in the middle to help it collapse. And to give you a better hookup, the way you rig it is that little piece on the bottom, you have to put the hook right through there. And it's very specific on how they want you to do it. You want to sit right at the water level and have it grab a little bit of water while you're spitting it. And it's walking back and forth. That is the Wild Mouse Ultra from Tiemco. We got every color that they had available. We were able to bring it in. So that is the Wild Mouse Ultra. And the last items on the list is the Hedgehog. Big one. It's been one of those baits that has been magical for us. Right now, we're still pre-spawn, spawn. It's the end of May, but it's been crazy weather. Just today, I'm filming inside the gazebo because it's raining today, but the Hedgehog comes in 3 different sizes, comes in the baby, the mini, and the eco size, which is the original size. These were the samples that we got from Tiemco earlier this year that we were able to fish and catch fish on. Still looks brand new. This is the kind of soft plastic that comes in the clamshell, but you don't need to have it in the clamshell to keep it perfect. This has been in that plastic bag, just sitting in my bag, and it still has all the appendages where they're supposed to be. These are elastomer style baits again. These come on the platform of the mouse series that I showed you, except they come with all these crazy appendages which are not silicone. These are also elastomer. They have beautiful movement besides just on the fall. If you're swimming it in, it has little little spirit fingers looking thing flying off of it. Many ways to rig it. And again, comes with that air chamber in the middle to help it collapse and give you a good hook gap. Here we have it rigged up on a Jika. Each bait recommends a certain hook. For the mini, they recommend a size 1. For the baby, a 1-aught. And for the bigger eco size, they are recommending a size 3-aught hook because it's a lot bigger and a little bit more plastic on that bait. A couple rigging techniques that we've loved is the Jika rig, which I showed, and also the DS13 or the wobble head, which I have right here. That is a free swinging jig head, which you can attach whatever hook you want. Again, this is a 3-aught. This happens to be the 3-aught digging Oregon hook, which is my favorite Texas rig hook, but this bait has been amazing. We've fished it down the shallow on the shorelines. We fish it on the brush piles. We've fished it through docks. Jake and Muninori were able to take the bait out on their boat, and they were fishing docks and having huge success. We just posted that video not too long ago, but the bait has been amazing. All three sizes have been great producers, and it comes in 3 different sizes, which helps you pick which would be best for whatever rod you're using. So if you're using a BFS rod, you're gonna wanna stick with the minis. If you're gonna have a traditional rod, which we recommend like a medium heavy, we've been using the heavy junk rod ourselves. Throws it beautifully with the 7 gram, no problem. Each bait has its own weight. I should probably tell you that. The mini weighs 4 grams. The baby is a 6 grams. And the biggest one, the Eco, is 12 grams. So by themselves, they have a little bit of weight. So remember, you have to make sure you take that into consideration when picking what hook and what rods you're gonna use with these baits. But guys, that is the end of the video. We're gonna do a breakdown of each bait by themselves once we get a little bit more time with them and more rigging recommendations and anything else that we would like to provide. Please guys, if you have any questions, put them down in the comment section. Thank you for watching. Come on.